Hello, everyone. This is just um, if you don't want to hear my thoughts, please go on to, um, the title page. Well, anyway, um, I, new information came from, I wanted to bring up with that Tim Pool told me over a year ago about the George Floyd incident. It turns out, according to police body cameras, George Floyd asked to be put outside. So, I think in George Floyd the entire situation was a mess. Really, I think that's the only thing we can say about this. And as for police reform, I am wrong. I think police is fine the way it is, except for they should not follow authoritarian laws. This came in the route that I did some research on Black Lives Matter and discovered they're a Marxist terrorist group. Info down in the description. Um, also, um, I must say this. I think the election is inconclusive. I was watching the election that up till about midnight Mountain Time, and it looked like Trump was going to win. And then Biden won. Of course, at first I was like, okay, fine. But then information, evidence of voter fraud started coming in. And also, I took a look at the evidence myself, and something is out of place here, like what Obi-Wan said in Revenge of the Sith. Listen to your feelings, something is out of place. Also, Joe Biden said to his supporters, "We put together the most extensive voter fraud organization in history." I must tell you this. If I say, for example, hypothetically, I said to my father, "I am going to kill you," and that is heard by several witnesses, a few days later he turns up dead, I would be suspect number one for murder. That's all I can say about that. Something is wrong. We need an investigation. We need to find out more about this. Also, my heart goes out to Luke Letlow, who passed away from COVID. I suppose deaths would still happen. Anyway, moment of silence for a brave young man who served, who made efforts to fight for what he believes in. And he believed America was the greatest country on the planet and believed in the goal of make America great again. Let us honor it. Thank you. Now let us get on with the video. Note, I love my father. It's just the first example that I came up with. So yeah. I mean, I don't think that that's too much to ask for. A thorough investigation. Make sure all the votes are legal. Make sure everything is following the Constitution. That will be a vote later. I'm planning on a video that's warning, saying history is repeating itself in this country. And I will say this. History repeats itself. Those that don't study history are doomed to repeat it. Even for those that study history are doomed to sit back while others repeat it. But for even those who study history, be surprised with how it is repeated. Hello everyone, this is the Crusader Historian. I am doing this video in the nighttime about the Electoral College. For those of you who fast forward to this section, you did not miss anything, just me expressing my thoughts with what is going on. But I have a list of things to do, and so this is kind of on the list. But I feel like this is important. I'm not talking about current events, although Hillary Clinton did talk about dissolving the Electoral College. So anyway, now we're on to just talk about the Electoral College and why it's important for the United States. The history of this happened in the 2016 election, and as you can see, Donald Trump won considerably well. Clinton did not have a chance. Look at all that. And as soon as Clinton lost, the Democrats talked about dissolving the Electoral College. Why? Why dissolve it? It worked for this long, why dissolve it? I'll tell you why. The Democrats want to dissolve the Electoral College and replace it with popular votes. And here's why. This was 2016. Democrats, this is from Investors Business Daily. 2016, look at that. Clinton's popular vote came from California. It says California has been turning into a one-party state. Many Republicans in the state had nothing to vote for in November, and this is 2016, so it's gotten more so. Since Republicans knew Trump was going to win, win the state. So that means they're like, what's the point? It's not going to happen. But if you take California out of the popular vote equation, Trump wins the rest of the country by 1.14 million votes, which I want you to think about this, because there is a reason why the founding fathers did not create America as a fully fledged democracy, but as a republic. They knew what they were doing. They knew a majority, there was a tyranny of the majority, and they knew each of the various states of the Union had their own interests. They have their own needs. I grew up in Maine. I spent some time in Texas. I spent some time in Arizona. I am in graduate school in Utah. I have a friend who lives in Washington State. Family in Georgia. We've been to Florida once. And I will tell you this. All of these states have different needs, different cultures, and different desires. And if you do not give them an equal say and allow one state, California, to decide everything, well, it will not be a fair election. It will not be a fair election. And what will you get? You will get a place where only this vote matters, and the rest of these do not matter. And what is that create? Well, we saw a hint of that at the Capitol a couple of days ago. You get a lot of people that feel like their voices are not going to matter, a lot of people that are going to be ignored, and a complete and utter eradication of our government. The Electoral College is important because it allows all states of the Union to have a fair say, as far as you can get a fair say in the electoral process, and to ensure every single government, no, every single state is set. Now, I'm sorry if I sound like I'm jumbling it, but this quote says it's the best. The Electoral College is a very carefully considered structure the framers of the Constitution set up to balance the competing interests of large and small states, prevents candidates from winning an election by focusing only on high population urban centers, ignoring smaller states and the more rural areas of the country. The places that progressives and media elites consider flyover country. Think about this. Is it right for California or New York to decide all the elections? To decide where people in Wyoming, Florida, Maine, small countries like Delaware, small states like Delaware. What about Hawaii? What about Alaska? You cannot ignore them. They have as much equal rights as California and New York. So the Electoral College is very important. It is a reason why it's put in the Constitution, and it must be defended so every state has equal power, or not equal power. California is unfair, 55 votes. Really? But it at least gives everyone a chance. The Electoral College is needed. It should not be dissolved, because it is one of the prime reasons why we have a respectable, functioning government, and it's lasted this long. It has lasted this long. And if it is taken away, with I will leave it right there. I will leave it right there, but you can understand. I sure pray all of you understand. The Electoral College is important and it's meant for the rights of all of you. All of you. It protects your rights. Not just as an American, but as a member of the state that you are at. God be with you.